This message is brought to you by Wet Spots. When you got a spot and you want to get it wet, Wet Spots. So this video is for a Wizard 1956 WA-25. Apparently the same as a Mercury Mark 30. And I need help evaluating the crankshaft assembly. The questions I have are about the play in the crank bearings. Like you can see, this moves side to side. They're all like this. But in and out pretty tight if I push towards the crank or away from the crank. So they all have like lateral play, but pushing towards the crankshaft, I think I felt one that did have just a bit of play, but for the most part, nothing. Side to side though, yes. And then the wrist pins were all tight here. I felt no play in the wrist pins to speak of. And the reed blocks, I felt there's a little bit of play. Maybe you can hear it even. And the center bearing cap, there's a slight bit of play in that also. So the pistons look good, and a lot of goo on the ring area from, I don't know what that's from. Somebody put some assembly lube or something and then let it sit for 20 years. But so those rings are all stuck, and I'll free that all up. So please give me some comments about the play in the crank bearings, if that's normal. And I would really appreciate it. Thank you. So I've cleaned up the crank assembly now, and I wanted to make note of the, what I would guess might be balancing efforts here. Looks like the crank was ground at those points. Still got a little bit of play here. I don't know if I can show that. And one of the piston rods has been ground. I think that's from balancing. I hope that's what that is from. That's definitely, you know, man-made marks. So looking for your opinion on this. Thanks.